I'm Evans Andrew, and this right here is Maisha Nordics. We've received a lot of accolades and a lot of positive vibes from you guys. And we're so thankful that somehow this is making an impact. And therefore, we're going to continue talking to people, sharing these stories, because it's not the stories themselves, but it's the experiences that make them meaningful. Maisha Nordics, stories, not as they are, but as we are. Welcome to Maisha Nordics on this beautiful, dark, rainy day, because that is what it's become in this time of the year. We're going all the way to Slovakia to talk to Nico Kivilahti. Nico, welcome to Maisha Nordics.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're half Kenyan, half Finnish.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that. How was it growing up in a mixed family?
Yeah, so I was myself born and raised in Finland. I've spent, I think, a bit over 20 years before I moved abroad, but that comes a little bit later. But as a child, I didn't really understand that I was different from the typical Finn. I mean, I could tell visually,
Yes.
but I didn't really know what it actually meant.
Yes.
So at a younger age, sometimes I got ill treatment from people for seemingly no reason, but I didn't quite understand why.
What do you mean by ill treatment? What exactly did they do?
It would be calling names mostly is what I would experience as a younger child, or somehow how people kind of looked at me or treated me when I didn't do really anything to cause it. I mean, I was a difficult child, but I wouldn't say I was that much of a troublemaker. Sometimes it was with good reason.
And you said that you didn't understand why they would call you names. How did you understand it? How did you interpret it as a child?
As a child, I really, it was all very confusing, and I was kind of oblivious to it, really, because I didn't understand. I said, I understood that I'm Finnish, I speak fluent Finnish.
Yes.
So why are they feeling like I'm somehow worse or different from them?
Can you be a bit more specific? What exactly was happening? Who was saying what, or what were they saying? Be specific.
Now, mostly I think it came from other children who kind of learned it from their parents.
Yes.
I would imagine that's what happened, because they don't understand what they're saying either most of the time.
Yes.
But it would be sometimes at the yard, I would get teased. One time, one of the bullies in our yard, I was picking up the mail. I don't remember how old I was, maybe 7, 8 years old or something like this. And he just came up and punched me right in the stomach for no reason. Really.
Right.
But, I got picked on specifically a lot of the time.
Yes.
And this, of course, came with my brother Miro as well.
Is this what do you think that this made you then become a problem child, as you say?
I would say that was my own doing mostly. But I mean, I would understand that I might cope with this kind of adversity in a way where instead of waiting to be attacked, I would attack first.
And so this was your coping mechanism to this kind of attacks?
I could say so. If I would kind of go a little bit deeper into that, then I could say that was maybe possibly a coping mechanism that I had.
Right.
I would kind of initiate things before they happened to me.
Because you'd been bullied so much that you figured out that this is the only way to survive.
Yeah, and I imagine that would be like it's automatic I didn't really think about it, but I think it might have been something that affected. By no means am I saying that that is the reason why I gave my mother so many headaches as a young kid, but definitely I would say that had an effect,
right,
on the general behavior, how I behaved at school. Kind of like I would say, protecting myself, like kind of lashing out instead of being a
instead of
receiver.
yes. Your mother is Kenyan.
Yes.
Now I'm Kenyan, and the reputation of Kenyan mothers is that they don't take nonsense.
Oh.
So I can imagine that you got a lot of beatings.
Yes, and well, I would say mostly deservedly so. But my mom is she was very strict, very demanding, but fair, always fair.
Yes.
It was never unreasonable. Now that I look at it later on in life, when I look back, you know, we were expected to behave well, you know, dress up cleanly for school, make sure that our room is clean, make sure that we behave in a polite manner towards elders, towards other people. When we go into other people's homes, you know, we have to be helpful, we have to be polite, we have to be well mannered. So I mean, though the beatings came, but they came because we were behaving
deservedly so, as you say. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, how did your dad deal with all this? Because I mean, in Finland, kids are not spanked. You're talked to as an adult. You're told, okay, this is wrong and you need to take this direction, and you can speak back to your parents. I know that is probably something that you could not do to your mom. So how does this dynamic work? How did your dad just let her do her thing, or did he sometimes come in and say, no, this is Finland and this is how we do it?
I would say my mom was more like active verbally, so she was talking. My dad was like this, little bit more quiet.
Yes.
But he demanded that respect, simply because when he talks, now you have to listen.
Yes.
So you know you messed up big time.
Yeah.
If he gets agitated or he has to say something to you, and he was and that's what I respected him for always, was that he was such a powerful figure.
Yes.
And they complemented each other very well, my mom and my dad.
Okay.
So it was both demanded the same things, you know, be polite, behave well, you know, don't do any stupid stuff, you know.
So the unit worked very well together.
Yes. And I think they've both contributed throughout my life, from early childhood until to this very day, continuously, in very different ways, but in very meaningful ways. They've contributed to my development as to be who I am at this very moment.
Let's talk about the lashing out, or you projecting your anger fast, or you're projecting yourself physically fast before it came on to you. How over time, of course, that has to die down. I mean, you don't have that energy every day. But
no.
how did that manifest itself? I mean, did you feel that your identity was the cause of this, or did you feel that because of what you were doing, you had to identify yourself as a strong, aggressive man? If I would call it that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I would say, especially in my teens, I was sometimes struggling with things like this, because I was trying to kind of find my place in everything. Because I'm born and raised in this country.
Yes.
That for the most part, a lot of people don't see me as one of their own, so to speak.
Yes.
But my mom was very, very supportive to me during this time, because she constantly taught me about my Kenyan side.
Yes.
And kind of to take pride in the fact that I can represent these two cultures. So I don't see it as a limitation. I see it more of something that enriches me.
As a strength. Yes.
Exactly. And
Cool.
I have to also kind of deal with adversity in a way that it makes me mentally much more tough.
Yes.
I can deal with adversity, and this helps me in everything in life. But everything started from childhood. Every time my mom would talk to me and talk to me and talk to me and talk to me all the time about the importance of education, the importance of hard work, you know, kind of taking all this energy that I have and kind of putting it in a good place.
Perfect.
Regardless of what I feel in terms of my identity,
Yeah.
whatever. So I should work hard, because maybe people won't respect me for what I look like, but they will respect me for what I do, what my actions are, what I put into this world.
Yes. Yes. The value of your worth as a person.
Exactly.
As opposed to how you look.
Yeah. So she helped me really understand and come to terms with the fact that my value is based on my actions, not on my appearance, not on anything else. It's what I do.
That is such a valuable lesson. That is such a valuable lesson. Let's talk about ice hockey. So walk us a little bit. When did the passion start? How did you walk yourself up the ladder until you made coach?
Yeah, I mean, I started when I was about 7 or 8. From my father's side, he had played football and basketball, and his brothers played ice hockey.
Oh, really?
So it was kind of coming from my father's side, this hockey. Yeah. So I mean, I think when I was 14, 15, I really started to properly develop this true passion towards ice hockey.
Right.
Where I would, during the summer when we had time off from school, I would work out 5-6 times a week by myself for 1 month. And then I was just trying to better myself and better myself and better myself all the time, physically pushing myself. And it's through this like kind of this team environment, this hockey environment, it's like I said, there's nothing like it. You know, you have to sacrifice your body, you have to sacrifice yourself to kind of to earn the respect of the team. And once you do those things, you gain that respect. So that always stayed with me, whether I do schoolwork or just in life in general. I mean, because for me, I try to have an impact. I mean, some coaches might think like this, that, okay, I just teach the skills and then they go and do their things as long as I teach the skills. But for me, based on, you know, my life experiences and what ice hockey has meant to me in my life, because it was a safe place to go to. I had teammates who supported me, who I could grow with. I could, you know, experience life where I had a place.
Yes.
That's where I really, when we talked about identity earlier, ice hockey is the place where I really found where I belong.
Yes. And you're doing coaching as well on Zoom. That's just amazing.
I mean, I'm really genuinely passionate about it. And that's why I invest so much into it. That's why it means so much to me. That's why I try to make it more meaningful, not only to myself, but especially my players, the guys I coach. I coach players of different age groups. I've coached players who are 6-7 years old. I've coached players who are 27 years old.
Right.
And I like experiencing these things because I learn from them the same way they learn from me. And they teach me a lot of things about myself that I didn't know.
That you didn't know. Yeah. They reveal you to you, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, how they perform, how they act, it's a reflection of how I lead them. I'm in a leadership position. So I have to take responsibility for how they present themselves. Wow.
I'm so wowed by all this, you know, because coaching is thought of at least from a layman's point of view, it's thought of as just a basic art, but there's so much to it, and obviously you are taking and giving so much. Thank you so much, Nico. What are the future plans, man? Are you going to stay in Slovakia for the long term, or are you coming back to Finland?
I kind of go year by year.
All right.
Right now, I probably like to complete my master's degree because I'm doing my thesis here in cooperation with the club that I'm working for.
Right.
So I'd probably stay here for that duration. And then after that, everything's wide open. I see how I feel. where I
Then you move on with how you feel.
Exactly. Because
What was the name? What was the name of the city again? What was the name of the city?
It's called Liptovski Mikuláš.
Litovski Mikuláš.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
You did it better than I did for the first month. I didn't even try. I just said, yeah, it's by the mountains.
Great, man. I'm so grateful, and all the best there. You know, obviously you're gonna do great. Good luck with the masters and the thesis program that you're doing right now. But most of all, we're so grateful that all those lessons that you've learned. One more thing before we stop here. What is the one thing that you tell mixed kids or mixed children or people who are growing up in these societies where you're mixed and your identity becomes an issue? What would you tell them?
I mean, instead of trying to identify with either or trying to find the benefit of representing two cultures.
Yes.
You're for everybody.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
So you don't see it as a limitation. See it as something that enriches you, something that can help you understand people from different cultures much better. You understand the differences of two cultures within your own home or within your own, people who are close to you.
Yes.
So this is something that use that to fuel whatever you're doing.
Perfect. You would have said it any better.
I said, and one thing, if I can leave it at this note, I kind of reiterate is that what I was taught by my mom and by my dad is that, hard work, determination, these are the things that truly you earn the respect of people with this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, if your mom is from there or your dad is from there, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the people who matter the most are the ones who respect people who dedicate themselves to something.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Valuable lessons. I've learned a lot and will continue to learn from you, man. Thank you. Please take care of yourself there. I don't know how the situation with the COVID is over there. Take care of yourself, and when you come back to Finland, let's do more of this.
Yes.
Live,
definitely.
Not by technology like this,
Yeah. I need real human interaction.
Yes, absolutely, man. Thank you so much. We'll see you again.
All right.
This is Maisha Nordics, stories as we are.